Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin mommy, and it's Tuesday, April 14th. Yes, I think that's right. I didn't film yesterday because this is the first week back to school again, still online distance learning, but it's the first week after spring break, and they started new things and new processes that we didn't do before spring break. So for our district, before spring break with the elementary, they just kind of gave worksheets and assignments and some books that they had brought home. And so it was very tactile, not as digital. And they did have some online like apps and things for math to supplement the worksheets. But now there's a lot of stuff on Google Classroom. And so it seems like everybody in America is on Google Classroom at the same time. Which is true. So our connection seems to be kind of slow and awkward. So getting things going yesterday was rough. A little bit smoother today, so hopefully we can kind of get a nice rhythm now that things have changed and we're getting used to the new system. But I didn't have time to film yesterday, and I figured that'd be okay because I had issues uploading my video last week, so I didn't even post my video until Tuesday last week anyways. So since I had a giveaway in my last video, I figured, might as well give them the entire full week. I'll just wait, film tomorrow. Less stress on me. So I have all the 218 entries in here, old school, so we'll do that in a second. I had some other administrative things I thought I'd share first. One, I had a question about Heaven and Earth Designs skeins pages, so I thought I would share that. Oh, I had one other thing I was going to share. Oops. Anyways, I'll try to get to that next time, I guess. So this is a example of a skeins page from Freebie Ice Princess, which used to be a freebie. I don't think it's on there anymore. I don't usually print these out because it doesn't usually apply to me that much. But what you'll find on these pages is how many full crosses they have and how many skeins they recommend you get. They often recommend 2 strands over 25 count. So if you're going to do a high count like 25 or 28, you might want to half their recommendation if you're only using 1 strand. So just keep that in mind. The other thing, so usually some of their older patterns have like a fraction here, but now it seems like most of these just have 1, so you don't need any more than 1 skein. Some of them though have 3, and there was one on a later page that had 2, but there's a couple in here that have 3. So they recommend you get a lot more of those colors because of how many stitches are in those colors. So if you're worried about dye lots, you can make sure to get at least the colors that have multiple skeins, get them all at the same time, and then you don't have to worry about it going forward. The other thing that these pages can be good for is if you're converting it to a diamond painting. Since it tells you exactly how many stitches are in each color, diamond painting, the little resins come in DMC colors. So I have converted the Tranquil Tulip one that I'm doing is a Heaven and Earth design, and so I was able to take this and convert these numbers to how many packages of beads that I needed for that color. Because they come in, I think, 250 resins per package, so you can do the calculations, do the math, and figure out how many packages you need to order. So that's really nice for that too. So that's really the only reason you would need this page. Heaven and Earth Designs don't have any of these things. French knots, beads, back stitching, but their program must just keep it here and they can't do anything about it. So the only real benefit is if you're needing the stitch count for ordering diamonds or knowing if you need to double up on some skeins for dye lot issues. So that's what these pages are good for. So hopefully that was helpful. The other administrative thing I wanted to share with you is I made a freebie for the Be Well and Stitch movement. And this is mine. Pray well and stitch. God is on the throne. And so I got this idea from Becca at My Stitchy Home. Originally, I hadn't had any good ideas for what to do, and I saw designers coming up with free patterns for this, and I thought, I don't know what to do. I can't think of anything. I had a couple ideas, but they just seemed not quite right. And then I got a suggestion from Becca, and I didn't go with exactly what she had suggested, but it got the wheels turning and got me motivated to sit down at my program and just start playing. So this is what I came up with, and I hope you like it. You can find this on Instagram at Stitchin Mommy, which is my cross stitch channel over on Instagram. You can also find it as a PDF in my Facebook group, Stitch Along with Stitchin Mommy. And if you're not on Instagram or Facebook, you can send me an email at stitchinmommy7@gmail, and I will just email you a PDF if that's the best way to, or you can take a screenshot right now and work from that. So since it's my freebie, I figured I could show it. So yeah, so feel free to email me if you want me to email you a copy of the PDF, and I will get that out to you. I'll do that in a minute. So let's go ahead and do the giveaway. So there were 218 entries last week from last week's video. I asked people to share share their favorite whip that they're working on right now. And so it's really fun. If you want to have some ideas of things to look for or to investigate, go through all the comments on my last video and you'll see a lot of people's favorite projects. And several of you were like me, where you can't really pick a favorite. Your favorite is really whatever you're working on right now, and that's very true a lot of times. And there were several of you who are one-at-a-time stitchers, and so the favorite one is the one you're working on, which stands to reason, because why else would you be working on it? So, so that was fun to hear from all of you. And so the prize is a free PDF download from, not download, I guess, I'll email it to you, from my Etsy shop. So if you win, you can, again, email me at stitchinmommy7 and tell me which pattern you want, and I will email it to you. Stitchinmommy7@gmail. And there's no G in Stitchin. It's just Stitchin Mommy, not stitching. What else? I will try to comment on your comment, but I may wait a little bit just so that you can see this before you get told, because sometimes it's fun to just hear your name on the video. I know that has happened to me before when I have occasionally won something. So anyways, I will pick 7 names out of I had my kids help me fold these all up. So I thought it would be fun to do it old school. So here's the first one. Karen Monich, you won the first one. So congratulations. I know you've made a lot of comments on my videos over the years, so thank you. DP with Fibro, you won 1. That's 2. Jillian Kirby, you won number 3. This is really fun. I like doing several of them because it always feels, it's hard when so many people enter. You can only have one. Michelle M, you won number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alexandria. These are whatever your YouTube name is. So I just copied and pasted it. So congratulations, Alexandria. Here's one. Fairy Fire 78. I think you make lots of comments on my videos too. So thank you. It's fun to see familiar names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one for 7,000. Here, how about this one that's falling out the bottom? Natalie L. So congratulations, everybody. I don't know if I can hold these all up at once. Thought that might be fun, but it might be impossible. Yeah, I don't think so. Nope. Yeah, that's not happening. So congratulations, everybody. I will comment on your comment in maybe a couple days, give you a chance to see this first, and let me know which pattern you would like. Out of my shop, I have the 4 different temperature patterns. I have a few poems, Bible verses, things like that. I even have some full coverage pieces on there that were converted to cross stitch from pictures that I took with my camera. So they're my photography. So there's a few of those on there as well. So anyways, I look forward to hearing from you. So Karen Monich, DP with Fibro, Jillian Kirby, Michelle M, Alexandria, Fairy Fire 78, and Natalie L. So, or Nathalie L? I don't know. Hopefully I said that right. So congratulations, all of you. That's fun. And thank you for, I think it's like 3 or 4 years on Flosstube. I'll have to actually go check. I don't even know. February, I think, is my anniversary. And I've never really celebrated that because, I don't know. It seems like an awkward time of year for me. I'm always feel behind after the Christmas holiday. And so, I don't know. I guess I've never done that. But anyways, on to the stitching. So I got one thing of Happy Mail this week. I signed up with the Fat Quarter Shop to do, they're going to have a mystery stitch along throughout the month of May. And I think I will still be stitching along as a mystery with everybody. But there's a few of us that they have contacted ahead of time that they gave some supplies to. So I received some 25 count cloud fabric, which looks white to me. I don't see any difference in that compared to white, so I'm not sure. It maybe is a little bit not white, but it should be nice. And you know me, I'm going to do this 1/1 because I like my things tiny. So, and I also got their Classic Colorworks pack. So these are all the called for colors. They also have a DMC pack available. I think they have a needle minder, project bag, you know, all that kind of stuff if you want to sign up for it. This is a teaser of what the Feels Like Home, I think, is the name of the mystery sale, and it'll be just during the month of May, 1 per week, I think. I think there's 5 releases, and that's a teaser image there. But yeah, that's really pretty. Some of these colors are more solid than others, but there's a few that have a decent amount of variegation. So that'll be really fun to use. I'm excited about that. So anyways, that'll be fun. I'll do that in the month of May, and I already filmed a little video right before this for part 7 of Bloomtopia Stitch Along. So I did one more part of that this week. And so I'm hoping to do another part. I'm gonna keep getting a little bit ahead so that I don't have to worry about that during the Stitch Mania section of my life. I did also work on my temperature tree on Sunday, I think. So that's what this is. One of the patterns in my shop you can choose from. And I'm doing mine on 28 count, 1/1 full crosses. This is light blue even weave from Hobby Lobby. And I'll try to do the side by side again with the before and afters. I think it worked. So the key is to get my current one only on one half of the screen, so I have room to show you the other one. So this is what it looked like before and now. Which way do I like it? I think I like it over here. So here's where I am now. I did one more length of thread on the April branch, and there's more April branch. I just did one length and got caught up in my leaves. It's continuing to be cold and rainy, although the sun finally came out. So maybe we're finally on the other side of it. So that's really fun. I'm enjoying that, and one of these days I'll get more ahead on my tree trunk, but at least I'm not behind. So pulling that out once a week is nice. It's a nice, easy one to stay caught up on, which I kind of need right now since I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do. The other thing I worked on just a touch yesterday was the Trellis and Time School Days sampler for my daughter. I didn't want to get into anything, and yesterday was kind of a full chaotic day, and I didn't want to necessarily start working on any of my projects for the Enchanted Stitching group before I showed you the befores. And so I figured, well, I'll go ahead and work on this just a little bit. And I had a piece of red on, got stuck. I had a little piece of red on here that was a partial string. So I just worked that in, and that's all I really had time for. So here's that. This is an 18 count beige Ada, and I did part of the apple. So I'll probably show a side by side of what it was before, but there isn't a whole lot of difference because all I did was that apple. And it's been a little while since I showed this. I'm hoping if I get this out again every little bit, my daughter will want to keep going. I've told her she can start the little birdie that's like down here as soon as she wants to, but she never, so far, doesn't want to. The blue that's in the glue bottle is also the main blue in the bird, so that's what I've told her. She can, you know, in the process of finishing this, she can work on her little bird. She wants to do this guy. And she also wanted to do the pencil and the numbers and the heart. And, you know, some of the flowers we're going to make purple. She wanted to do the purple flowers. But she has definitely lost steam on this. So I do still want to give these to the teachers at some point, even if it's at the end of the year, if they let us come back to, for any reason, or just mail them to their houses. So we'll see. Yeah, so I'll probably, if I get a chance here and there, I might pull this out and keep working on it. At some point, I want to make it like to go with a challenge piece in Enchanted Stitching so that I can get a more significant chunk on it without feeling like I'm not working on what I'm supposed to be working on. So at some point that might happen. This week though, I was able to, I already had plans pretty much for all 4 slots of what I wanted to work on this week. There's two family pieces that their dates come up this week. There's a new start that I'm planning at the end of the week for Stitching May's birthday, Sal. She's starting a Jeanette Douglas, so I'm going to start a Jeanette Douglas. And my first one. And then my other full coverage Fanatics piece for Egypt I wanted to do this week too. So I'm like, well, there's already 4. Hopefully I can fit them into the challenges. And I was able to do it, so I'm excited. So let's show you what I did, shall we? So the first one I worked on, I think, was this one, my Spring Cross. I had to work on my youngest whip, which this is my most recent start. So I was happy to get to the top of this one and start working on the back stitching of the background. There's a bunch of words in the background and they're all stitched. So this is what it looked like compared to last time. So there's that. This is on 14 count light blue Aida that came with the kit, and I am pretty impressed with their margins. I've measured, you know, I started in the middle, and there's a good more than 3 inches I think on the top and bottom, and a little more than 2 on the sides, so pretty decent. So I did these this color coming up with, so all of this color in the stick area up here at the top of the cross is finished, and then I pulled out this color and went this way, and then I went this way, and then I came down here and came back over this way, doing Understanding, Strength, Dream, Believe, and probably the end of Unity. This one may be Truth, I'm not sure. Trust. This one will be Trust, and there'll be like a flower in the middle of it too. Yeah, so I thought that turned out pretty good, and I'm happy that I'm, from here on out, I'll like complete top down, and that'll be nice, because this Aida, since it's still new, it's very hard on my hands to hold, even with these little things holding it together. It still kind of makes my hands ache when I'm holding most of it in my hand. So as I work on it, I'll unroll it and have less in my hand to hold, so that'll be helpful, I think. But got maybe like 300 something stitches on that, I think. Back stitches are worth half a stitch, so that was good. And then I worked on Chaplains Garden, which I believe is a Marty Bell design. I think you can probably find this here and there as a chart now, not necessarily as the kit. Yeah, Marty Bell. So I got this ages ago. This is one of my oldest whips. And I ended up picking white in the clouds, and because it looked like nice big chunks of color. And I ended up getting over 300 stitches just in that white, and so I just stuck with it. So probably needs to be ironed, but so here it is compared to last time. And I did all that to fill in here. There was some light blue here before, but now I now the clouds are pretty much done. All this area up here is unstitched. There's like a branch that comes out over here to start this angle, this side of the oval, and there's a tree right here. So next time I pull this out, I will probably work on this part so that I can have, again, top down finished. So that's what I did. I did lots and lots of white, and I'm not mad at it. It was enjoyable. So kit fabric, white stitches on a project I didn't used to like, and I had fun. So, you know, I'm not mad at this project. I think when I look at it, I remember that I didn't like it before, but when I get it out now, I enjoy it. So hopefully I will have more and more positive experiences with that one so that I will bring it out more and more and get more progress done on it. So that will be good. So now I have my 2 full coverage pieces. One was my ants piece that I worked on, Quick Stitch Iris. Where is it? I have all my papers in my, they get lost in here, I think. There it is. So Quick Stitch Iris, because I put everything I have in Pattern Keeper now, I keep their cover page in here, so it's easier to show you guys. This is Quick Stitch Iris, and I'm doing this for my ant on 25 count 1/1 full crosses. So this is, oh, and this challenge was only stitch blue, so you will see that I only stitch blue. So here it is compared to last time, and you can tell that I did all of this and a little bit more up here when I was trying to finish strings. So I do have, like, all of these parked threads got skipped because they were not blue. Purples, pinks, greens, and then there's some more blue I didn't quite get to. But I did over 500 stitches just because I can. I only needed 250 because these are full cross, but I wanted to try to get some good progress on that. So I like it. Pretty happy. This one probably won't come out again until May, which is next month. But I will work on it hopefully a lot in May because it's my second choice for Monogamous Mania after Anne of Green Gables is finished. So hopefully that works out nicely. I also worked on the Nativity by Heaven and Earth Designs. Donna Gelsinger charted artwork, and I was stitching in parked threads for this one too. And so, pretty happy with where I got to. Here it is compared to last time. That wise man's head is a lot bigger than I expected. So here's just a little closer. This is 2/1 half stitches on 28 count Monaco. And all of these, some of these got pretty far over just because that's where the color was going. But some of these colors up here were also in the head. And then I started in on these colors. I have one on my needle already too. It doesn't look like a whole lot's left here, but these are long strings. And these are tiny half stitches. So these, just filling in these, which will probably fill in a lot more down here into the man's clothes. This could be another full challenge right here, I think. So I'm hoping to bring this out again later in April, next week maybe. And hopefully then I can get all of these filled in, stitched in. That would be really nice. So there's that. And it's fun to make progress little by little. I sometimes get jealous when I see other people who are stitching fewer full coverage pieces and they get lots of progress done each time. But I have fun, and especially if I get like pages done, at least one page or more, you can see something, and it's enjoyable, even just little bits at a time. So I'm not mad. It better not be because I have 20 full coverage going. All right, so this week I've got all my projects. So we're still in the movie Cars for the month of April in the Enchanted Stitching Challenges group, and the 4 projects I will be doing, I'll work on, I guess I'm holding this one. I always forget the cover page for this one because it's not full coverage. So my letter E Fairy by Nora Corbett for my niece will be worked on again this month. This is on 32 count water lily linen, and I'm doing a color conversion. And last time I was able to get 500 stitches put in on this, and so I'm hoping to do that again because I want to make good progress. So I'll probably focus in on the E, golds in the E, and maybe some beads. We'll see. So this one worked for a challenge of something that you're making for someone else because he had to fix the road for the town. Lightning McQueen did. And so that worked for that one. The other family piece I'm going to work on this week is Knitting Woman for my mom. And that one worked for the prompt that reminded you of your hometown, which I moved a lot growing up, so I don't really have one hometown, but my mom was always in my hometown wherever I was growing up. So this reminds me of my mom and my hometown. So my mom likes to knit, and I'm making this for her, so I thought that worked. And this is on 22 count Aida, 2/1 half stitches. And last time was the first time I got to work on this without any perk threads, and I got to do whatever I wanted. And I filled in some hair and some skin and neck and everything. So I'll continue up here picking these colors that are as the highest colors in the design and filling them in. So hopefully we can see some of these holes get filled in. That'll be nice. So again, this is half stitches, so I have to do at least 500 half stitches. And a recent video that I saw, I'm like a little over a week behind on Flosstube, but I saw part of Colette the Highway Stitcher's video last night, and she was saying when she's on her full coverage pieces, she doesn't want to stop and work on something else, and I totally understand. I'm the same way. I get in there and I see they seem to add up faster in there than they do when you're doing other projects when you tally by hand, but it's like, ooh, I've stitched that many already. This is really cool. I want to do more. So anyways, so my other full coverage fanatic piece for Egypt is the end of the ball, which I chose because it could be related to royalty dancing at a royal ball. This is a golden kite pattern, and I'm not very far on it, but I would like to fix that by working on it more. So this one worked for a challenge that is something that puts you to sleep, because even though I like it, I'm currently up here with endless shades of dull brown, so it's kind of boring at the moment. But I know it will look amazing when it has more done on it. So here's where I am now. This is stitched on 24 count Congress cloth, which is very stiff, a little plasticky feeling, but it's nice for half stitches because it doesn't warp as much. So this is my starting point on that one. Lots of dull browns. I had come down here the last time I worked on this, but I think I will go this way in the future to try to get, like, so I'll pick like the next color here and work that until it's done, and then, you know, keep going that way using Pattern Keeper. I got this plugged into my the Pattern Keeper app last night, so I'm ready to go on this one. Maybe the first one I work on. So, and then on Friday, I have been really looking forward to this. Stitching May here on Flosstube is celebrating her birthday. I think her birthday might be Saturday, but she's starting her sale on Friday. And she is starting a Jeanette Douglas design. I think it's Vintage Birds. I could be wrong, but I think that's the one she's starting. So she said anybody wants to start Vintage Birds or any Jeanette Douglas design. And I have not yet stitched a Jeanette Douglas design. And I was hoping to start this one this year, My Story. And I had previously wanted to start The Four Seasons by Jeanette Douglas, and then when I got this one, I thought this might be a little bit easier one to start to kit up. And the Four Seasons one, I'm a little concerned with the highly variegated border that's needed and some of the colors for the different seasons to all work good on the same fabric, and I don't really want to buy all the specialty threads, so that one I'll figure it out eventually. But this one, when I got this, I'm like, oh, that'll be even easier, because if I don't like something in the conversion process, I'll just make it whatever I like, because it's meant to represent you, you know, because it's my story. So I picked out a full fancy floss conversion last night, or yesterday during the day. That's part of what I did yesterday instead of stitch, was work on this conversion. And so these are all fancy flosses. This is 32 count lamb's wool linen, which is the second called for. She stitched hers on like a 35 count cream brulee, I think, but then in like an alternate fabric is 32 count lamb's wool. And I had some of that from Shelly, Key X Stitch, thank you. It's a nice big piece, so I have to cut mine down still, but I'll probably wait until Friday to do that. Pulled out some beads from my stash, some Krynic from my stash. It needs some gold and light blue Krynic too, and I have gold in other projects. I might have some light blue blending filament in my my fairies, so I can find other things to play with to go with these. So I'm excited. Yeah, and this one, this is the funny one. This is Cactus, and I remember when I got it in my Thread of the Month by Color and Cotton, that it really doesn't show up. It is not green, not at all. It is like a nice brown, tan, gray color. And this one, and what's the other one? I think I had, it's under, no, not that one. Oh, Sable. Yeah, I had, it's like a nice mixture between this, as far as light and dark. It's more like these colors. So I don't know why it always shows up green in videos and in pictures. It is not green. So I'm curious when it's actually on the fabric, if it'll continue to show up green in pictures, or if it'll be its normal color of tan. So I don't know. We'll see. So some of these colors might blend in with the fabric a little bit, but I think because it's all specialty stitches and crazy, it'll be fine. And it's actually not that small. It's like 6 by 7 3/4, I think. So it'll be pretty small. And so I'm curious how far I can get. This is the first band that the instructions start here and go down, and then they do these, and then they do these. So this part will take longer because there's lots of little motifs. Some of it's 1/1. But this one I think will go pretty fast. So and specialty stitches count for one leg of the stitch is a half a stitch in Enchanted Stitching Challenges. So I may get a good chunk of this done during the challenge. And if I start it on Friday, hopefully I'll have the other challenge pieces done and I can maybe get extra time on it, because maybe, because it's fun, right? So that'll be fun. I'm excited about that. And I think that's everything I have to share with you today. Hopefully we'll get kind of settled here into the new normal of online learning, which is a little bit more online than it was before, and be patient with the technology that's slow sometimes. And in the meantime, I hope I can stitch as much as possible. And I hope you're doing well wherever you are, that you're staying safe, staying inside if you can, or at home if you can, getting out into the sunshine whenever you are able to get some sun, or at least fresh air. And I think that's everything. Oh yeah, winners, please contact me with your chosen PDF chart, and I'll get that emailed out to you from my Etsy shop, which is just Stitchin' Mommy over on Etsy. And I think that's everything. So hopefully I'll be back again next week, Lord willing. And until then, happy stitching. Bye.